Oh, and there's another one that's higher up. That's way too high to be able.
We are not in Florida anymore. I've just taken 2 days and I finally arrived at my first destination in Texas. We're in Waco.
Howdy. It's good to see you.
We are here at the Urban Rescue Ranch, man. This is so sick.
Welcome. What do you want to see first?
Oh, bub, I'm just excited to be here and not be in my car. And to be honest, I'm just excited to be out away from the camp for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like just to see how other folks are doing good things with animals.
Well,
I'm pumped.
We'll start you off with what you're used to.
Okay.
We got two sulcatas here that was surrendered to me.
Oh, I love it. I love watching these guys graze. This looks like a little gal, huh?
Yeah, this is a little girl.
Oh, my, what's her name? Do you have a name for her?
I call her Sensei Ledoux. I don't have any actual. I haven't put a lot of thought into a name.
No worries.
For the first time in a while, we finally have warm enough weather to let these guys out all day, all night.
When does weather really turn here in Texas?
So
we're Central Texas, right?
Yeah, we get starting late, mid to late February. We get amazing weather like this, and then we have a month and a half of that, and then it's just hell.
It just gets hot
for 3-4 months, and then after that, though, it's nice for another month for the fall. So I'm really trying to take advantage of this weather as much as I can.
Yeah,
this is also the busy season for us.
Yeah, so are you open for tours? Is that what you do?
So legally, I can't let people come in here and see the wildlife because you're not supposed to do that as a wildlife rehabber.
Okay.
You're a volunteer, so
yes.
I can show you around.
Very cool.
And you're going to help us with some of the wildlife. But then
that's what I need to do.
For all the other animals, you need USDA permits.
Okay.
Not for reptiles, though, apparently, which I just found out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Also, I don't want people coming.
I hear you. Okay, interesting, man. But that's how you got started, huh? Oh, look out.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
This was a little dwarf caiman that was surrendered to us.
No way.
And he needs a little bit more water in here. But he's a cute little guy.
You know, he's looking good. I mean, is he handleable?
You can. I'm sure you could probably handle him a little bit better than I can. He's a bit nippy, obviously, but he's not very reactionary. If I do this, he's not going to come up and bite at it.
Right.
And then also, he eats the rats that come into the barn.
It's fantastic.
So there will be rats coming in here, running up on here, and then I know because there will be months where I haven't fed him. And he's fat, and he gets fatter, and I'm like, he's fatter than he was yesterday. And then I see rat tracks.
Oh,
and
no way.
I know that rats will get in here, and then they'll get stuck in here, and then he'll just come up and eat them.
Oh, that's amazing. Or sometimes if they're looking for a way out, rats can swim, they'll get in the water. Exactly. But this is really cool. I wonder if it's I'll tell you what, I have Lucifer at home. I'm looking for a female. You raise him up. If he gets too big for you,
there we go.
We can retire him in Florida.
This is Patrick.
What?
He is tomorrow is the big day. He finally gets his cast off.
Aww.
He was a orphan black buck that was born on a livestock trailer during transport. People love to hunt these things here in Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's nothing wrong with hunting animals, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not going to bash on the exotic hunts, but whenever people are hunting something that was farmed and then released on 10 acres,
it's a little not much of a challenge. Now, so it was born with and got a broken leg in transport?
No. So he was born in the transport trailer. And then his mom ran off without him whenever they let him out. And then he was being really stupid here.
Oh, gosh.
And he, whenever we were over there just running around, he stepped on one of the fence panels. And it just kind of twisted his ankle. So now we had the vets come out immediately. We got him a cast.
Gotcha.
Now
and so
get it
basically
off.
Just contained because you don't want that animal walking around a lot while it's got a cast on.
Just basically these are what we're going to be using for the whitetail fawns because we're also wildlife rehab and we need to have a certain space for whitetails that keeps them separate from everything else. Ooh, Amber Alert.
Uh-oh, what's going on here? Animal in trouble. Do you put on tights and a cape and then go out and rescue them? Is that how you do it, Ben?
Sad, I wish I could do something about
Dude, Ben's built like Superman, if you guys haven't noticed. The dude's definitely not been missing the weights. This is the reptile room. Check it out.
We just set this up.
It feels nice and warm too.
Oh, and we might have a fun task for you.
Perfect.
So
put me to work, dude.
This guy, we need to release him because
awesome.
This is someone brought this into me this morning. This is a three-toed tortoise, right?
It's a three-toed box turtle, and it's a wild-caught one. And you can always tell when they're wild-caught because here's an animal that's been gnawed on probably by a raccoon.
And that's why someone brought him in. But at the end of the day, he's fine. He doesn't need to be
totally fine.
rehabbed at all.
So that's amazing. So it's not been someone's pet. These guys, this is amazing. I got to just take a moment for my reptile friends out there, because when I lived in Las Vegas, I actually had a three-toed box turtle. And this is a subspecies of our eastern variants. You know, because you got the eastern, the Gulf Coast, the Florida box turtle, and the three-toed box turtle. And then here in Texas, you're also going to have the western box turtle and the ornate box turtle.
Yep, and we've gotten those too.
Yeah, very cool.
I'll say the majority of the ones that we get here are either chewed up by a coyote or a dog.
Okay.
And they either need to be here and they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Or they don't need to be here at all and someone just brought them to me. This is one of the ones that like doesn't need to be here at all.
It's funny, people mean well, but the best thing to do is help it across the road in the direction it was going. Do you know whereabouts this animal was found?
It was found at a Goodwill parking lot.
Oh, boy.
So that's the tricky thing. In a really like I don't know how he got there. So now I'm having to decide, okay, where do we release him?
Yeah.
Because we want to get him back to his original area, but not if it's a Goodwill parking lot.
The best, no, definitely not. The best place, you know, would be like some kind of meadowy area where there might be some trees near a creek.
And then here's another thing that is probably not great. I have a Morlet's crocodile in here.
Oh, cool.
And I left this door open.
Oh, so there's a crocodile somewhere.
There's a crocodile in this room.
All right, I love it, Ben.
He's probably about like 2-3 feet.
He's probably...
He's not very big. But he's going to be probably in there. He has gotten in there before. That's why I actually cut a hole into this.
So you can get him out.
The other big thing is we have this reticulated python that was surrendered to us. The Morlet's crocodile was emaciated and had really bad metabolic bone disease.
Okay.
There's a reticulated python that we have in here.
Thank you to all our loyal Patreon members out there who have helped to create an amazing reptile community online with us. This week's shout out goes to our good friend Adam Martinez.
In a really nasty enclosure. I fed him for the first time, and now he's sleeping. He has this little hide in here.
That is so cool.
And then I wanted to get your opinion on how this is set up and then get any critiques from you.
Listen,
because I'm relatively new to reptiles, and then we also have all of these that I haven't put lighting or any heat or anything. We don't have any animals in here. But
no, this is great. I mean, listen, this is fantastic, bro. I love what you're doing here. My only concern, just concern this particle board, because of the humidity.
It's gonna fall apart.
It's gonna fall apart. I would look out for that.
So should we seal it with something?
I don't know about sealing it because I'm not sure what those chemicals would do. Yeah. But I would just be worried about when you're cleaning urine, things like that. Could swell it. So I would just.
Thankfully, that's only on the outside.
Oh, it's on the outside. That's fine.
Yeah. We've sealed anything that's on the inside. But you're right, though. Like this is the thing. Like it's on the frame on the outside of the machine.
Right. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. I thought
but still, no. It is so humid in here. I think you're right. Eventually, if we don't paint over this.
Yeah, just give it a little protection. But I mean, this is cool, dude. Can I open this and maybe get a little sneaky?
I'm gonna put the turtle out.
All right. I want to have a look at this retic, guys. So this is really cool, man. He's doing such a cool thing down here in Waco, Texas. There's the retic right there. Oh, look, he's gonna come out. No, I don't think so. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Oh, it's dark in there. Don't bite my camera. You can barely see him. And I don't want to stick my head right in there, but that's really cool. So this is awesome. But yeah, as far as the retic for the size of this animal, this is going to give him a lot of opportunity to grow and be healthy.
Eventually, he'll probably need a bigger setup when he gets huge, for sure. But for now, this is good. And we just got him surrendered last week.
Oh, that's crazy. So you already got something built up for him. So that's amazing, man.
We had the framing. Oh, yeah, and Gustavo's in here as well.
Oh, is he in there?
Yeah.
Can I take a look at him?
Yeah. You want me to pull him out for you?
If you don't mind, I'd love to see him. This is so cool, man. Wow. I appreciate it, Ben. I know how busy you are.
Yeah, well, wait till you see all the wildlife that we just got today. That's the other big thing. The thing that I love about reptiles, though, is how dang easy it is to take care of them.
Yeah, like they don't eat as much as a mammal, that's for sure.
No, yeah.
Or as often.
It's not, well, yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy to take care of them, but I wouldn't say it's super hard either. Ooh, easy. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, this is Gustavo.
When we found him, he was probably, He was a quarter. He was probably a third this size.
Wow.
But yeah, he was emaciated. He was probably a 1 on the body scale for a crocodile.
No way, yeah.
So we started putting him on pinkies that I would inject with like egg whites. And that's what an Australian wildlife rehabber told me to do. And you can see he was he was at a drive-through safari, and they put him with a Nile crocodile that bit the tip of his tail off, and it would steal all of his food.
That's it. They get bullied, man. Yeah, happens with a lot of different reptile species.
Yep. And the Nile got 2 times his size. He had probably half of his teeth when we first got him.
Wow.
And then now, if you want to hold him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hold on. Let me just go ahead. Look at this guy.
I'm surprised you don't have any more lets.
You know, I can keep certain species in Florida. There's so many restrictions. So I'm on 2.5 acres. So
they don't let you do.
I'm only allowed to keep what's called Class 2 wildlife. So alligators, caiman, except the black caiman, Chinese alligators. The only crocodile I can keep is a dwarf crocodile.
Yeah.
So I can keep them, but only up to 4 foot.
Yeah.
So I don't want, you know, I get so attached to certain animals that I don't want to keep them exactly.
No, yeah.
And you know, then have to surrender them.
Yeah, like he's a crocodile, so he's never going to be a puppy.
No.
You know, like some people have gators, like rarely that are really
puppies. Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy is a little fella, and I don't try to stress him out or take him too much, you know, because I don't want that lactic acid to build up. Or whatever it is.
It's just much better, man, to keep them calm.
But I do.
Awesome.
I like to keep them in here. I'm going to start putting fish in here pretty soon, and then I need to do a water change.
Well,
what is that oil from, though?
Let's see.
What is that film on top?
The film on top? I don't know. That's just a little funky again. It's probably could potentially be from your branches and stuff like that.
Thinking.
Yeah. It's nothing. Honestly, it's nothing that I would worry about.
Okay.
I mean, the water looks really clean, dude.
Yeah. That's what I was texting you a while ago whenever we got the frame set up for this. And this is where we had
the tortoises.
Just for a little bit. It doesn't look great. We need to clean all this stuff. So.
No, dude, what you're doing?
My mess.
No, my folks are true hardcore reptile people. Oh, good deal.
Look at him sitting here.
What's he doing?
And we could feed him.
He's waiting for a little food.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There you go, pal. Gonna get nice and big.
There you go. Yeah, and he can handle one that size.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's so cool, man. And how old are you, Ben?
I'm 27
You're
now.
killing it, dude. You're doing such great stuff.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
27's a weird year, though. It's like,
why is that?
I'm no longer in my mid-20s.
No, dude, you're getting old.
We've passed over. Yeah.
Wait until you get into your late 40s.
Uh-oh.
It's insane. It's all just a number, dude.
No, yeah, and I actually am I've been calling myself Uncle Ben for a while. Now I am finally an uncle.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
But,
God, it feels like home. The humidity feels good. What do you got in there?
Just a waterland tub. They're all empty.
Okay.
No, those are for other turtles that we end up rehabbing. But like I was saying, the majority of the turtles we get are like little red ear sliders, that kind of thing.
Right.
They're either hit by cars and there is literally nothing I can do.
No, I know, that's tough.
Or they like are just fine to where they honestly probably would have been fine in the wild.
Gotcha.
But these guys have a lot of foliage to eat.
Oh my gosh, well, we saw her eating all the weeds growing up, and they will be just like your goats, dude. They'll eat everything, man.
Yeah.
Is this your home? This is where you actually live?
So this is where I used to live. This used to be a crack house.
Oh, interesting.
Not too long ago. I need to pick up my clipboard.
Okay.
Somebody that dropped off a couple squirrels had to fill out the intake form. But this used to be a crack house, and then this is the only thing that I haven't changed is the roof of this building here.
Okay.
The porch. This is a nutria that we got a while ago that I move in between here and out there. He's actually pretty friendly, but he like runs around with another nutria in that enclosure over there. I'll show you that in a bit.
Cool.
And they're invasive, so we're not really supposed to release them.
Yeah.
But somebody brought him to me when he was just a little baby.
Gotcha, so you have to hold on to him.
Yeah.
So this is now the main office area, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah, so we converted the house that I used to sleep in and everything else, and we had the cappies in here when they were babies.
I gotta be honest, I didn't know that you were this full on with proper rescue.
It just started, but that's been the goal for forever. The sanctuary has always just been kind of like, let's get kind of the funding. Let's use the sanctuary and like the animals and the YouTube to get funding so we can do wildlife rehab, because wildlife rehab is a money hole.
Yes.
This is a mess right now because the second I clean everything and change everything out,
they go nuts.
They make a mess. But as you can see,
we love squirrels.
We do love squirrels.
Dude, this reminds me of we have a place, I don't know if I brought you there, Bush Wildlife. Next time you're in Florida, you got to come. They started just like you, and they just moved into an $18 million facility.
18 million is insane.
It's insane.
And we're doing it on probably like a crack house. Yeah, like a $400,000 total of everything we put in here.
But you can do a lot with that, man. And,
and that's the cool thing. We can't now with an $18 million facility. They're probably taking in like hundreds a day.
But that's after almost 30 years of operation. Man.
Sometimes we get 10 cottontails a day.
Oh my gosh.
And these are all guys that are about to be released because, you can see that at this size,
eyes are open,
their eyes are open. They can eat their own hay. They're starting to eat their own solid food. We're not putting them on milk at all anymore. They're about ready to go out.
That's cool.
But the fact that we have 6, these are all from the last 2 days.
Dude, I get it, man.
We have 9 possums that I finally have 2 part-time employees.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, and then these ones just came in.
So when I called him to open the gates, he said, I'm giving electrolytes to some squirrels. So that's what you literally
was doing this before we did that.
So years ago, I had a roommate that lived with me at the old camp. Her name was Susie, and she worked at the Palm Beach Zoo. And she was at our local supermarket and found a newborn squirrel out of the nest. The mother kicked it out of the nest. Eyes weren't open. I gotta tell you, man, that animal she brought home, she did what you're doing, became one of my favorite creatures in the world.
It's so easy.
Her name was Olivia, and she would nestle in my beard, and then we let her go out in my backyard, and she would knock on my back door. She would come in, I'd feed her, she'd hang out with me. I could go, Olivia. She would cruise over, and she was there for about a year. And then I like to think Olivia found another squirrel, got married, and went off.
I'm sure she did. Yeah.
I hope that's what happened.
And that's the goal, right? That's what we want.
It was cool, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's hard to get to not get attached.
Yeah.
But when we get literally 10 a day, that's when it's like, oh, you know what? They don't need to have names. There's 10 of them.
No, you gotta get moving. What is
I'll show you real quick. These are 3 axolotls that people surrendered to us. We actually got them from Axolotl Planet. They were also surrendered to them. That one did not have any toes 2 weeks ago.
And its toes grew back.
Or hands. Yep. And then
that's
the
incredible. They can regenerate, guys. They can actually regenerate, limbs, not just a tail. So that's pretty amazing, that amphibian ability for that kind of regeneration. So that's pretty cool.
We've got a half a pound of bloodworms in there as well. Or not bloodworms, blackworms.
Oh, cool.
And they just live in the water, and it's just an infinite food source. And the only thing we have in here right now is a eastern screech owl that has pretty bad head trauma.
Oh my gosh.
And as you can see,
did he fly into something? Or?
Yeah, he got hit by a car, which is honestly kind of amazing that he's still alive.
Still alive.
But
and he's eating.
Yeah, he is eating. He's eating whenever I feed him, and he does eat whenever he's on his own. It's a little bit harder to get him to eat when he's on his own.
Do you think this will become an ambassador animal then? Because it's going to be difficult to let him go?
One of his eyes, his pupil doesn't dilate. Okay. And that's the kind of thing where it's just like, but I'm covering this up. I'm trying to not talk to him or interact with him too much.
Yeah.
He would be a great ambassador, but...
You're still treating him as a possibility of release.
I don't, unless it's like, and we won't know for sure until we move him into one of the smaller flight pen. And once he gets in the small flight pen, if he can fly around, and if he can prove to us that he can eat a baby mouse or a rat,
or catch it on his own,
catch a live one, that's when it's like, all right, he's ready to go.
That's really cool, man. Ben, this is so rad, dude. I'm glad I drove like 1,200 miles to see this. I'm serious.
I am too.
Oh boy.
So, these are 3 baby feral hogs. They're a little skittish because we just came up and started talking. But if you come in here and crouch down.
Let's do it. Let me tell you about when I ride my bike on the levees at home. I was telling Ben earlier about this. No nonsense. I was actually riding my bike at night with a headlamp on, and one of the full-grown sows plowed right into me.
Just ran into you?
Ran right into me, man, on the levee. Hey, little guys.
All these people in my comments saying, why are you keeping them alive? Why aren't you killing them? Because when they're babies, they're literally just pigs. Look, he's gonna crawl over to us in a second.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
But yeah, look at him coming over. And these guys I've just been giving Ultra 24 milk replacer. Yeah, here they come. It takes a little bit. They're like, okay, these guys aren't just angry predators. They're friends.
Dude, that's so nuts. Now, these are feral, so you can't release these guys. So
no, but it'd be the same thing as, like, you can't release a wild piglet, you know what I mean? Or like a domestic
That's
piglet.
true, yeah.
These guys have plenty of food. I already fed them, so we don't even do anything with them. We're gonna move them out of there. What I'd like to do, because we're also a farm sanctuary, and what I do with baby piglets when people give them to me anyways, is I try to get them as friendly as possible so they can go to a homestead.
Oh, really cool.
And I know tons of people that have raised baby, feral hogs, and then they end up being house pigs.
Yeah, and they're very intelligent animals also.
Oh yeah, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's a pig. You know,
Yeah.
we got them with the umbilical cord still on.
Wow.
At that point, it is literally just a baby pig.
That's true, because you could take
a potbelly
and
release
throw
it.
and it gets feral.
It
Like
will
it
be
turns
feral.
into a gnarly animal.
Even a potbelly.
Wow.
You know. This is one thing, and because you signed the waiver,
Yep.
and because you got your rabies shot, this is a.
Well, I had to get it to volunteer at Bush Wildlife also, so I mean,
yeah, you do.
you gotta be smart.
If you're gonna work with certain species. So this is a tricky thing, and I'll show you guys real quick.
Okay, I like.
And this gives you more of like a realistic side of.
Hold on, I don't know what I'm going into, and this. Am I closing this?
So 2 days ago, literally 2 days ago, two folks that didn't have any teeth brought me a raccoon that they had raised in their house. And they said, oh, he loves Fruit Loops. We've been giving him mostly Fruit Loops and cereal, and he is morbidly obese.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that.
So this is kind of the tricky situation where
He's
we have
now
a raccoon
addicted.
that's A, not friendly enough to be an ambassador animal, but B, definitely not ready to go back to the wild.
No, and because he's not actually eating things that he should be.
And we're giving him a smorgasbord, you know, octopus,
Yeah, this guy's got calamari. I mean, holy smokes.
He's spent a lot of time in his pool and he's already been pooping in there.
This is awesome, by the way. Hold on a second. I like seeing all these enclosures. I mean, this is really cool, man.
Yeah.
You build everything yourself?
Not by myself, but with a lot of good fellas.
That's awesome.
I've been really blessed to find a lot of
Help.
good help, yeah, and then a lot of bad help too.
That happens.
But we've had 7 foxes in here, plenty of hawks, raccoons, and this has done really. This was the first big flight pen that I built, but then we realized, like, oh, if we want to get other wildlife, if we want to rehabilitate like red-tail hawks or red-shoulder hawks. Great horned owls, barn owls, and then we're right on the highway.
Yeah, no, that's perfect so people can deliver animals to you.
It actually is.
You're in a convenient location, man.
That's true. And that was a big thing too, that was kind of the nice part. I'll show you this real quick. This is the house that I live in now.
Oh, right on, dude.
Now I finally get to live somewhere that isn't inundated with animals. It was kind of fun to live with them before, but...
The smells get old.
Yeah, dude, and the majority of wildlife rehabbers do actually live that way. They live with the animals, and that's why you don't see a lot of people filming it.
Gotcha.
The majority of people that do wildlife rehab, you don't even know, this is just chickens.
That's cool.
Our garbage disposals. We need to put some more substrate in there. But these are all of we have a few of these enclosures, and these are what you call our maternity ward. This is where we'll move the raccoons, which we haven't even started getting
Gotcha.
yet. But we're probably going to get at least like 50 this year.
Sadly, I saw quite a few on the road.
Yeah,
dead.
There's going to be plenty whenever they start popping babies out. Put them into enclosures like this.
Hold on a second.
So
Who's this?
This is Garbanzo Beans. He was a little duck that was like abandoned before he was fully plumed. I have a video called, what was the video called? It was called like How to Steal Ducks from the Park or something.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
when he was just a baby, or not a baby, but whenever he was like a bit younger, he wasn't fully plumed. He was just like following some child around, just chasing him around. And I thought for sure, like, oh, this is like this kid's duck. There was a family that was fishing, and I went up to them, and I was with some friends like tossing tortillas, and they said, no, it's not ours. I was like, is this your duck? He was like following them up the ramp out like to the parking lot.
No
And
way.
then he was like, no, it's not ours. And I was like, can I take it? And he was like, I don't care. And my rule of thumb is if you can pick it up with your hands, it belongs on a farm. It's probably not a wild duck. So this is a rowan, which is like the domestic version of a mallard.
Okay.
And he loves to just attack me until I throw him up in the air. And then he will literally fly all the way back to the pond. But there he made it about halfway.
That's so crazy, man.
So
That is awesome.
And he'll keep bothering me until I do that. But I'll
Look
show
at
you
all
here.
these enclosures, man.
Yeah, so this is our other flight pen, and we can split this in half if we need to separate species.
Okay.
But we have here, this is where we've had barred owls, great horned owls, and then just like, we get a lot of Mississippi kites, just a lot of random raptors. And right now we just have the nutrias in here. You can
Gotcha.
barely see them in the corner.
Yeah, they're invasive. You find them a lot in Louisiana.
They have a bounty on them in Louisiana.
That's crazy.
$6 per tail.
Wow.
This is overgrown and we need to cut this. But this is
Put those sulcatas in there. They'll mow it right down.
Or the cappies. Oh, there's already a frog in there. That's funny.
Cool.
But this is Paul Cafaro said he was going to come over and help me install this filter I got, so we can turn this into clear, nice, moving water. But for now, that doesn't matter because all we're using this for is for rehabilitating marsh birds, shorebirds,
Gotcha.
great blue herons, like egrets. But this could also double, and I always build things thinking, oh, if I want to change it up or if I like don't want to do wildlife rehab anymore, this could be an alligator like setup.
Sure.
And we could have heat in that storage container.
You're gonna
You
need
could
a
do lots of
bigger.
stuff.
You're gonna need a bigger pond for the morlets. That's for sure.
Yeah, eventually.
Yep.
And then if we had this heated, honestly, this would be fine for him. Whenever it was, But we get some pretty harsh winters, and
Yeah.
there we go. It's not like East Texas or South Texas. But this is going to be really cool to have. We can rehabilitate kingfishers and all kinds.
That's so awesome, man.
It'll be neat. But right here we have the back area, and all of this, like I said, this used to be that building that we were in with the reptile room.
The red barn.
A chop shop. It used to be a different barn.
That looks like a capybara.
It is.
No way.
That's Sylvester.
Sylvester.
Sylvester is with Kevin because they don't fight, but he will fight with every other cappy. And now it got to a point where he was attacking the other male, and I put him with the dogs, and now they all cuddle and hang out, and they're in that back area over there.
Well, how many cappies do you have?
So we have 2 males that were surrendered to me because the folks that got them were kind of in over there. They got them for their kids at an auction. And that's how it is in Texas.
Yeah.
People can also hunt capybaras here. And that's a relative.
And that's a Rhea, right?
Yeah. And people hunt Rhea too here in Texas. Kevin is my son, but he is so overly aggressive that he was given to me because for free. Because he would just attack literally everything on the ranch.
Oh my God.
That's bigger than him at least.
Okay.
So this dude that had apparently, because Texas is weird, this dude had giraffes and zebras. Kevin was attacking the giraffes and the zebras.
No way.
Just chasing them around, and they were scared of him. So the dude was like, we need to get rid of this animal. And some Rhea are just hyper aggressive like that. David's helping us right now by fencing off this pond, and we're getting this pond done by Aquascape.
Oh, right on, dude.
And then their contractor that helped us out, Prairie Creek Ponds, is going to do another kind of little version of what we have over there.
Right
just
on.
because if we have the cappies in here, they will just poop in it. And
you need it. It's better
will
to have
just
it moving
Yeah,
and filtered.
that can be potentially dangerous. We always keep fresh water available in a bucket like that. I don't have anything in here right now, though.
Gotcha.
And the cappies have been going in there and then jumping straight into the fresh water.
That's so
Getting
funny.
nasty.
Look at this guy, dude. He's
Yeah, he won't let me walk. This is how he is. And this is just a random duck that we just picked up from downtown that ended up being a best friend. And you could tell he was a house duck.
Yeah.
This was someone's like Easter pet
Right.
that they didn't want anymore.
as one has, you know.
And he bothers me until I throw him up like that. And then he'll go all the way into the
Now
pond.
that's an aquascape.
Yeah, so this is, they worked with some other contractors to help get us set up.
Right on.
Greg Whitstock.
We love him.
We love that boy.
He's
And then
a
we
bit
have
of a
the pond
loon, but we
professional.
love him.
Yep, and they did a great job.
Oh my gosh, it's
I
beautiful.
don't have any serious complaints. Like we had something like this boulder kind of sunk down a little bit. You know, we have algae building up now because I need to put some more bacteria in
Well,
there.
what happens after the winter is the water temps are going to get warmer. You'll get the algae bloom, but just make sure you inoculate this with that bacteria, like you said. And the other thing is getting the plants. You want those plants to start growing. They're going to help out-compete that algae. But it's totally normal. It's an actual ecosystem. I love these things. Look at this.
There's one of them.
There's one of the plants. Yeah, the animals tend to move things around. This duck is hysterical.
I am really happy about this. So that's the intake bay that's now getting filled up with the pollen from the trees. This is the first like early spring we've had because they did this in April of last year.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll clean this out, and that's why I was carrying that pull net earlier. And we have the bacteria dispenser, but I think it's out right now.
Okay.
And that's why, yeah.
Oh, the doser.
Yeah, I just texted Sean about that.
Cool.
And then these will all grow up
To cover
hide
that.
the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be really nice in the summer.
I mean, this is a really beautiful water feature, man.
And this whole area was just full of tires and oil and trash. And because this all used to be a chop shop where they'd cut up cars, some for parts.
That's
they
so
do
crazy.
oil changes. The umbrella grass is just finally coming back.
Oh, yeah.
That was a gift that somebody gave
The
me.
gator head.
Now, yeah, this thing's kind of neat, but. And then this is the
Wetland.
wetland. Yep. So
Very cool.
It's kind of perfect for what, and this was kind of the vision we had a long time ago, and the fact that we can have the ducks and occasionally the cappies. We have two of the females that I'm now keeping separate from the males because they're starting to fight the males back. They're getting a little too much action.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's the spring. You know, everything's like that. If you want to throw them.
Oh, no. That's hysterical, man.
Yeah, no, he loves that. And then I need to fence this off
Because they'll eat it to a nub.
the Rhea, the kangaroos.
What kind of plant tree is that?
I think this is a plum.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you like to grow things that, you know, bear fruit.
As you can see, I'm not very good at it.
That's okay. I don't have a green thumb.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can keep animals alive,
That's a
but
big
not
pigeon,
plants.
dude.
Yeah, so this is a pigeon.
Okay.
And this is Kevin's son.
What?
So I only hatched 3 of Kevin's eggs to the point where, and then he was an assisted hatch that was like stuck in the egg, and I raised him inside, and that's why he's super friendly. Even though he like looks really aggressive and he'll open his mouth up, he's scared of you. He's being camera shy right now. But usually he'll come up to me and he'll let me pet him.
So let me explain something to you about ostriches for me. Every time, I love these birds, but every time I look at them, I just think of them, I look them in the eye and I feel like they're gonna nail me in the eye.
Well, Kevin would. It looks like he would too, but because I raised him in the house,
cool.
even when he is like in an aggressive mood.
So what's the story with the ostrich?
The ostrich was, so people farm them for meat and they hunt them here.
Oh man.
And he was a orphan from one of those farms. And I reached out whenever I was really bored working at Oracle, my sales job.
Yes.
I would reach out to them, to the farmers, and I'd say, hey, whenever you get babies, like chicks with curled toes, splayed legs, and issues like that, give them to me instead of just calling them.
Okay.
And I ended up having about a 70% success rate with doing that. And I would just look at like primary literature on vet care for them.
Okay.
Because it used to be a big thing. Like ostriches used to be worth like $20,000. Now they're not worth like. Now they're worth like 600.
I think they were like gonna farm them for meat, and like it was gonna be the next turkey burger type situation.
Everyone freaked out over ostriches in like the 90s, and then it boomed. It got really expensive, and then it just dropped. And then people were giving them away. They were just releasing them on I-35.
No way.
And there were ostriches in Texas just running on the highway. This guy's a Rhea, and he's Kevin's son. So he has his aggressive genes, but because I raised him, he's not friendly. But he has bit me. And I still have
Bit of a scar.
every now and then he'll bite me, and it's not that
lovely.
bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, I look at these guys. It's impossible not to see a dinosaur. I mean, it's insane.
They literally are. Like look at those
at that.
legs.
Yeah.
And this is the only ostrich that you'll meet that'll. Well, he's being camera shy, or she is. But this is the only ostrich you'll meet. They'll let you just slap her thigh.
Really?
And just get in there and that's how.
Get all up in that thigh.
She's real friendly. Like.
Hey, bird. That's a big bird, man. My Kate does not like birds, and I think that would freak her out.
I have friends that have like irrational fears of birds, and my place is like a nightmare for them. Especially with Kevin. Being afraid of him is like a very rational thing. And then we should have, oh yeah, there they are. That's funny.
Oh boy, look out.
So I let all the female Rhea, the female Cappies, and all the kangaroos have full access to this entire area, including the pond.
Wow.
And
this is amazing.
This is more space than any zoo that I've seen has given to kangaroos. Usually the zoos don't even give them grass because they don't want them to get worms.
Wow.
We don't have a huge problem with that. But this is Dababy. He was our little orphan.
That was the baby.
Yep. And now he's a big boy.
Oh man, they can mess you up, right? Like
he can, yeah. He won't this time of day.
Okay.
Only in the mornings and in the evenings, like at night. He'll get aggressive and like he'll want to play. But if we can walk right up to him. I don't know with the three of us maybe.
Yeah, I mean I'll do whatever's safe.
We're quiet. Oh, he's not going to hurt you. Look at how you guys put over there.
He's intact too, huh?
Like he's rolling around.
No way.
Hey, Dababy. And he's my son. But during the day, as I'm saying, like all they do, at night you can't keep him off me. I'll be walking back here doing chores and he'll be attacking me. And I've got video after video of him doing that on my channel.
No way.
She's actually a rescue from a honey ranch. I have a friend that does deliveries for these ranches. And he reached out to me and said, hey, one of these is a girl. And they thought they were all males. And he was like, if you want, I can just give you this female.
Wow.
Because nobody wants to shoot the females. Especially she's like, you can tell she's a little old. She's got that tag on her ear still. So that was a really, really sweet thing he did for me. You can
That's
see
cool.
her tail's a little messed up.
Yeah, that's so cute, man. Holy, so now I understand it. Like, I always feel like I have a lot of work to do with my reptiles, but they're so easy compared to the warm-blooded animals that you're dealing with here, man.
Well, it depends. You know what's even easier though than all of these things? These bees.
You keep bees?
I have literally done little to nothing for these bees, other than trim the weeds. Like right now, I need to trim the weeds. Your apiary enthusiasts will see this and say, "Oh no, those weeds are too tall," because then the mites can get in there. But you can see this is a really healthy hive.
Yeah,
I don't feed them. I don't give them nectar. I don't give them pollen. They just thrive on their own.
That's so cool.
And I've had them for 2 years now. And honestly, I need to keep putting more stacks in there. But look at how she's got something hanging off her little.
Yeah, cloaca there.
Yeah, I might need to pull that, whatever that is.
You want to go pull her? Go ahead, kid.
I'm sure it's just that. What's funny is the only thing that'll get her to come right up to me and eat out of my hand is, well, any food, but hot dogs.
Really?
And it's just her for some reason. She loves it. She was the first Rhea I ever had in Austin. At my
Looks like a hot dog coming out of there.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, and that's what it is. Now that they're eating what they're supposed to be eating,
yeah,
instead of just pelleted food, you know, they're eating all of this grass. They're having a lot better stools.
Gotcha.
And more natural stools.
Look at this, man.
So this is the eagle flight pen.
What?
This is the only 200-foot flight pen that I know of in Texas. And this is basically based off the same kind of model we had up there. But in order to rehab eagles and osprey, and I think vultures too, you need 100 by, I think, 20 foot wide. And this is, we have this barrier here in the middle.
Yeah.
We could separate it into 200-foot flight pens. But right now, because it's in a U shape, it's a 200-foot flight pen.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
It wraps around.
Yeah, and the cappies are just in here for now because we don't have any eagles or osprey to rehab.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Well, watch this. If you crouch down, they'll come right up to you. So, and these are the ones that I raised in my house.
Now, you had one more thing you wanted to show us here.
Yes, there is a. Here, I'll just leave these other grabs for
Okay.
these guys. But also,
That's so
the other thing too is if I'm slow, watch this.
Oh, you get a little handsy with them there, Ben.
Yes, and they like it. They love it. But the issue is, you have to like really kind of get them comfortable first. You know, but once you start doing it, they'll flop over and then they'll let you scratch their belly. You know, and here, Dave, you can.
Dave, get in on it,
But
bud.
you have to do this, and then you have to do it regularly. You know, which
Yep.
is You know, it's not something that I don't like doing, and I do enjoy having them. I'm very thankful and that we get the opportunity to have these guys. But at the end of the day, you know, with all the other animals I take care of and with all the wildlife and all that other stuff, this just becomes one more thing.
Well, you got to be careful of what you wish for, because, you know, you're now a professional rehabber, and as you're finding out quickly, people are going to be in and out of your door, man. But you're doing it's such a cool job that you've taken on, you know, to do this. Yeah, it's really amazing.
Well, and I'm super thankful that we get to give these guys way more space than what we had for them in Austin when I just had my little backyard. Oh wow! You know, and then this, even though this place was full of trash, and that's what it used to be, it's a lot nicer now to have everything clean. This is, I mean, you kind of came at the perfect time.
This is amazing.
If you had come any time in the last 2 years, it would have been less than complete. And now, for the first time ever, I think I can actually say this. Project is for the most part done.
All right, we're gonna go have a look at a baby kangaroo, if you can believe that.
And he's a sleepy little guy right now. But
oh my God.
For a long time, you know, and a lot of people would ask, like, oh, like, why are you doing rescue? And why are you, like, aren't you breeding these animals? Doesn't it stress them to breed them out? And the thing is with kangaroos, when they're born, they're the size of rice grains or jelly beans. And then they put zero pressure on the mom. They latch to a teat in the pouch, and then they just grow gradually over a long period of time. Clearly she's not in trouble, or she's not in any pain from that, you know? No, she can hop around, she can sprint full speed with a baby that's way too big. And
how long will the baby stay in there?
I've seen him out of the pouch completely. So he's actually at that point where you technically could pull him, put him on a bottle. I don't want to do that, even though that's what most kangaroo farmers do, to keep them real friendly. I just am already friendly with the mom, you know? Cool. And when it's just me here and not a group of people, she'll come up to me. She'll let me, like, even touch her pouch.
Wow.
The baby.
And this is a different female than one we saw just a little while ago.
Yes. This one was one that I wanted to get for a long time,
and she's leaving.
Yes, exactly. The baby needed a girlfriend because he was alone here for a long time, and he was raised with the dogs.
The baby.
Yeah, the baby.
Look at him.
And he loves the dogs. The baby, come on. It's funny how he gets up and then he smells me, and then he's like, "All right, there's no food."
Holy smokes, that's just an incredible animal.
Yeah.
That tail, they use their tail as like a third leg.
Their biology is so strange compared to every other mammal that I've seen. You know, like that was the other thing too that I really wanted to show people on the channel, at least once, is the miracle of the marsupial birth.
Yeah.
Like, here she comes now.
They're born, and then, oh, she's, all right. Let's see if she follows me. Yeah, they're born outside of the pouch, and they have to make that journey to the pouch, all being the sizes, as you say,
a rice grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's pretty insane. No other animals really go through that. Yeah, it's just some hay.
Oh, that's all. Just some hay in your butt. Ah, no big deal.
Push it out.
Well, I gotta tell you, man, there's not many people that get to spend their days with kangaroos, crocodiles, ostriches, birds of prey. I mean, so you are definitely blessed and lucky. And the best part is you're doing an amazing thing for these animals. And just being here now and seeing everything, knowing how much work goes into this, that's just so cool, bro.
Mm-hmm. I'm super, super thankful. It's a huge blessing that we get to experience all these different. Look at the little tail curling out.
Oh my God, there's a little baby in there. That's so cool.
You'll see the face if we follow her in that.
Yeah, so you're stoked, man.
Yeah, I'm very thankful. But yeah, and it's come a long way too, you know. That was the other thing too. It didn't happen at once. You know, we didn't just get land that was already nice. This was literally a crack house. There's a homeless camp here.
But here's the thing. It makes you feel better because when you work hard at something, and you see something that's
Don't look at it. Oh, kitty's so good. Oh, did he go back in?
He went back in.
Yo, get back out.
Oh, that was so cool. I think we got it.
Yeah, you got it.
I think we got it. No, but when you work hard on something, to see it grow and blossom and change by your own hand is such a satisfactory thing. And I always tell people, they always ask me, how can we do what you do? you just got to do it. You just got to start. You got to start. You got to, you know, start small. Don't worry about being this, just in increments. You know what I mean?
You got to be willing to do it alone too.
Yeah.
Because you won't have help all the time.
Not all the time.
That was the other big thing. God has provided just about everything, you know, but there's days where it's lonely.
Yeah.
There's a long, lonely season. All of the fencing here, I remember doing by myself, being kind of depressed before we had the animals, before everything was like flourishing, you know. It was the winter, and it was just but
you question like, what am I doing?
Yeah, and that was literally a moment where
life?
I was building all this, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why? What's my purpose? Why am I here? And then the spring comes around.
Yeah, those days are important also, to be honest. I mean, those are true tests, you know. You can. It's one of those things where, you know, you can be blessed with certain things, but you got to do the work to appreciate the blessing. Does that make sense?
Nothing good comes from idle hands.
That's correct. And I think that's a good place for us to sign off. Listen, if you want to follow Ben, if you don't already do it, it's Urban Rescue Ranch on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all social media platforms. If you want to, the best way to help them out.
Wonderful. That was a perfect
awesome
way to,
animal.
Yeah,
it's true love.
He loves me.
If you want to help him out, watch the videos. Check out what he's doing here. If you live in Central Texas, I'm sure there's a place they can donate to your cause and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do have a link for that, and I'm very thankful that that's Kevin's noise. I put all of the money I make from the YouTube right back into this.
It's clear.
And we didn't ask for donations at all until this year. Now that we are getting like 10 possums a day, it's like, okay, maybe we should.
You should
be at least getting donations for the
well, you know what,
milk replacer.
Here's the thing, man. Why I respect what you're doing is because you're actually helping animals. Like, you know, I work with the TSA. I work with these other sanctuaries.
Most of them are like, let's have some pets.
I think a lot of other
donations.
a lot of other YouTube situations are just that, but it's really cool to see what you're doing. You're a young guy that's got his heart in the right place. And
thank you.
Awesome, bro.
Thanks for letting me come. It means a lot coming from you. I've been a fan of yours since I was literally a long time ago.
This is awesome. Guys, give him a follow if you don't already. I appreciate everything he's doing here, and what a great way to start my trip in Texas with a real live Texan by way of Pittsburgh. We'll see you later. Kevin's attacking.
He just wants to. He's out for blood at all times, but he will not attack that cappy. That cappy is safe.
There you go. See you guys.